What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, it's your homie, FuturisticMike, and I'm back with another Wu-Tang and American Saga video. Now, this is going to be the review and recap for Wu-Tang Season 2, Episode 4. If you're a fan of Wu-Tang, hit the like on this video. If you're new to my channel and this is the first time you're finding me, subscribe and turn on those post notifications. So when I post videos on Wu-Tang and American Saga, you get them. Now, this was a solid episode. It just took place in one spot. And, it bothers me when, certain episodes of certain shows take place in just one spot the entire episode. But the fact that this show is so good, I guess it didn't really bother me. But the entire episode, they were on this ferry. The ferry was going back and forth between Staten Island and Manhattan. And Bobby, aka the RZA, makes a risky move in this episode. And actually, the description for this episode reads, RZA makes a risky move to squash old beef. But it was a solid episode though, man. I really liked it. I like the fact that they're all going to be working together as one, as one unit, trying to build something from the ground up to start a company, man. They're trying to make a business. They're trying to do all this in the music industry so they can blow up and show the world what they're made of. That's why I really like this episode, because it just shows how smart Bobby actually was. The RZA, he had a creative ass mind, man, and we're seeing exactly what went down coming from him, because he produces this show and everything. So just seeing all this stuff go down on the show just means that it actually happened, because he's in charge of this. Remember, man, he's the one that's behind this show, along with Method Man and some other executive producers. So some of the stuff that happened in this show actually went down. Now, not all of it obviously is true. They got to make up some of it for TV. It wouldn't be entertaining if they didn't add certain things in there. So they got to add stuff in. But a lot of this stuff actually did happen. But when the episode first starts, we see Bobby just standing there, and we see Shah behind him. Shah's looking out in the little telescope thing, just trying to get a good view, and he got them all on here. We see your boy Dennis, he walks up, and Shah and Dennis are just looking at each other, and they start going at it, man. And Bobby's like, yo, you need to chill. Y'all need to chill. I brought you here so we can all work together, so we can make music and stuff. And they're like, man, you must be crazy, because that ain't gonna happen. They can't let all that old beef go, man. So we see them both walk away, and Bobby's left just standing there by himself. And then Divine walks up, and he's like, man, for real, you really think this is gonna work? I don't know if this was a good idea. He's telling Bobby that he let it slide with Shah because him and Shah go way back. But he said, Power though? Why would you invite Power? And then we see Power, he gets on board, and we see him staring at Dennis. And then they come face to face, and Bobby walks up to them. He's trying to talk to them, but, Dennis don't really want to hear him. Power's just saying that he's there and he's going to listen. He's going to listen to what Bobby has to say. But Dennis, he's being hard-headed. He's talking about how they shot up his crib, and he's just not going to let that go. So he walks off. And Divine says, man, it was foul what they did to Dennis's crib. And Bobby says what he did to Power's parents wasn't. So they both were in the wrong, for doing what they did. But we see Bobby walking past this guy playing the violin and stuff. Then we see Dennis run into this guy that's selling stuff. He's selling everything on his cart. We see Bobby. He's trying to get Shah's attention. Shah's on the floor that's below him on the boat. And Shah sticks his middle finger up at Bobby. Bobby goes and he's looking for them still. He's trying to talk to them. We hear the guy on the speaker saying that they're going to be arriving in Manhattan in a certain amount of time. Then we see Power run into Shah. And, they're just talking. And Power says he's down with everything. He's willing to hear what Bobby has to say. And Shah just ain't feeling it. He said, you really think Dennis is going to let all that go? He's hot-headed as hell. He ain't about to just let that shit go. And Power says, that's why I'm prepared. And he shows Shah his gun that he has tucked in his waist. And Power says, what about you? And Shah's like, you don't got to worry about me. He has a gun as well. so they're ready just in case something pops off. Then we see Bobby going after Sha, trying to talk to him. You know, Sha's walking away. You know, pretty much this whole episode is like a game of cat and mouse, man. You know, they're just running off. Somebody's trying to find somebody else. That's just what the whole episode is. We see Bobby trying to talk to Sha again, and Sha's like, nah, man, this ain't cool. Like, you shouldn't have did this. Basically, just everybody's mad at Bobby. And Sha runs off, and Bobby runs into this woman and knocks her groceries down, so he has to help her pick them up. Then we see Divine, and, you know, he runs into the dude that's selling stuff. And dude is like, yo, what's up? You trying to buy something? And Divine ain't trying to hear it, but dude, you know, follows him and stuff. And then Divine starts talking to him. And then he's like, you know what? Let me get that can of soda right there. And then we see Dennis smoking a blunt, and he actually is getting his shoes waxed from this dude on the ferry, which is hilarious. You know, he's paying this dude to wax his shoes, and he said he knows what the white folks feel like now. But, you know, Bobby sits down and he's talking to Dennis, and he's like, yo, my bad. I didn't mean for it to go down like this. You know, I just want everybody to talk. I want everybody to get along so we can do what we need to do. Dennis just ain't really feeling it. And then we see Bobby go up to Power. And, you know, Bobby says, look, we got to do this. And Power says, I'm here, ain't I? He said, you know, showing up is half the battle. And Bobby says, what about the other half? And Power says, that's your job, ain't it? So, you know, Bobby just has to get everybody together. He has to have them all act right, you know, get along so he can say what he needs to say. Then we see Dennis, and he's looking through these pretzels. You know, he sees Power talking to Sha, and he thinks, you know, they're talking about him or whatever, plotting on him. And they see him, they look over at him, and he takes off running. He goes over to the dude that's selling the stuff, and he's like, yo, you're selling everything, right? And dude shows him his gun, and he ends up getting the gun off him. Then we see Bobby run into dude that's selling things, and dude is trying to show him like some necklaces, you know, some chains and stuff. And Bobby's like, oh, so that's what you do, sell people shit that they don't want. And he's like, isn't that what everybody does? And then we hear dude on the speaker say that they're arriving at the Statue of Liberty. He says to take pictures or whatever because you may never get the chance again. And we see the Statue of Liberty back there. That's my one regret, man. When I went to New York, you know, I was able to see the Statue of Liberty from a distance, but I was never actually able to go over there, like on a ferry. And I'm so disappointed about it because that's one thing I really wanted to do when I was in New York, and I didn't get the chance. And I remember there being no ferries left too. Like, I ran up to where the ferries were getting dropped off and stuff, and people were just getting back from one of the ferries, and this guy told me that that was the last ferry for the day. So I was super disappointed. Now next we see Power and Sha talking again, and you know, Dennis, he's kind of creeping up and just looking and stuff. And then some couple asked if Dennis can take a picture of them, and he takes the picture. And then Dennis says, yo, when are we gonna be arriving at Manhattan or whatever? And they tell Dennis the amount of time and stuff. And then we see Bobby meet up with Divine. You know, they're talking, and they're talking about how there had to have been a better way to do this than to trap a whole bunch of grown men on a ferry. You know what I mean? Like, Divine ain't too sure about this idea, but you know, Bobby just wants to get it done. And then it's funny because you can tell Bobby is nervous, and he's just hearing things on the speaker. It's like dude is speaking to him on the speaker, but it's really not happening like that. It's just Bobby's hearing stuff. Like, dude is saying, are you ready for this, son? And stuff like that. It's just hilarious. Now next we see Dennis creeping up these steps, and he's getting ready to pull out his gun on them and stuff. And Divine runs up the steps and grabs him, and he's like, yo, what are you doing? Are you crazy? And Dennis says, yo, I'm not about to let them get away with that shit. I'm about to show them what's up. And Divine says, man, we ain't here for that. They dropped the beef. You know, they're on board with everything, so you need to get on board. And Dennis still ain't trying to get along with nobody, so he walks away. We see Divine walking, and he runs into Power. They're just staring at each other, but Divine goes and sits down, and they start talking. They start chopping it up because they go way back, man. They got some memories and stuff. Like, even though they had beef before, you know, both their crews, they're still trying to set everything aside and get along for Bobby's sake. They start reminiscing on certain things, and Divine goes on about how when he was in prison, he was looking out at all the people coming in on the ferry and stuff, and he was just thinking about a fresh start. So he said that's all he wants is a fresh start. And he said he wasn't clear on that until he's sitting there, right there with power. So now he knows what he wants. Then we see Bobby walk up and he sees Divine and Power getting along and talking, and they talk to Bobby, and you know, everything's good. Shaw's on board, and they just need to try to get Dennis to see reason now. So Divine says, look, Bobby, you can clear your head, you know, get your mental right and everything, and I'll go talk to Dennis. So Bobby just seems nervous, you know, a little bit, because he's gonna get ready to pitch all his ideas to the crew. And Divine goes and talks to Dennis, and he tells Dennis that, you know, he didn't mean to pop off on him before, because he popped off about Cherie, saying how Dennis went behind his back and got with his sister and stuff. But Dennis basically says, you know, he didn't plan that, but no matter what, he loves Cherie, and that's never gonna change. You know, he says Cherie and Infinite, his baby, are his world, and he's never gonna let anything happen to them. And Divine says, man, you always been my brother, and if you leave, I guess that means I'm gonna leave. But he talks Dennis into staying and stuff, and then we see the ferry getting ready to stop at Manhattan, and they all stay on. You know, Bobby's at the top just waiting. We see Divine and Dennis come up there. Then we see Power and Shaw come up there, and it's just a reunion, I guess. You know, everybody's there in front of each other. You know, Shaw and Dennis still don't look too happy, but they're gonna hear what Bobby has to say. Bobby starts talking, and of course Shaw and Dennis both start popping off. D-Love just can't let it go that Shaw really came up on his mom's crib and started shooting. You know, his brothers was there. Even his mom was laying in the bed and stuff. If you guys remember, his mom could have seriously died, and his brothers could have died. And Dennis, you know, he's holding on to that. You know, he's holding a grudge. And I understand that for real, man, because if somebody attempted to kill me or whatever, yeah, you already know I'm gonna feel some type of way about that. Probably for a long ass time, if not for my whole life. But Bobby, Divine, and Power and all of them are just telling Dennis and Shaw to chill. They listen, but it's real hard to get these two to listen, man. They're hard-headed. Especially Dennis. I feel like he's the more hard-headed one when it comes to those two. But basically, you know, Bobby just wanted to say that, you know, he wanted them all together, united as a group. You know, he's trying to build a crew because he tried it the first time by himself and he failed. So he said this time around, you know, he wants to form a crew so they can do this together. He said that way they can mess the music industry up, because if you have people by your side, of course it's going to be easier. He said in order to win, you need all the pieces, all the chess pieces. And Shaw's like, you know, that's what we are, just chess pieces to you. And Bobby's like, no, you guys are my brothers, and I love all of y'all, each and every one of you. And he goes on to explain, you know, each of their qualities and stuff. He starts saying positive things about each and every one of them. And it really gets them to listen. You know, Bobby keeps talking. He keeps going on. And he's saying that with them together, they're all going to win. He starts talking about how, you know, Inspector, Hassan, Method Man, all of them that aren't there, all got their own qualities. You know, he was saying that they're such lyrical geniuses, and with every single one of them together, you know, the RZA, Power, Divine, Shaw, or should I say Raekwon, and Dennis, or should I say Ghostface Killah, Method Man, Inspector, and Asan, who's gonna be Old Dirty Bastard. He's saying with all them together, each and every one of them, they can mess this music industry up. And, you know, he's just trying to spit some motivation to them, and they're really listening. It still looks like Dennis and Shaw, you know, they're not really too happy, but they'll come along. They'll get over it, and they'll obviously work together, because we know, like I said, this is based on true events, and we know these two work together. Now, a fun fact for all of you, if you didn't know, the beef between Sha and Dennis is fake. That shit never happened. At least that's what they said in some interviews and stuff. You know, they made that up and they put that in the show just for entertainment purposes, just for TV. But that never happened. But after Bobby explains all of this, you know, it shows them, they're all just standing there looking at the water on the ferry. And then it goes from 5 of them to 8 of them. You know, we see each of them in a drawing or whatever, pretty much telling us that, you know, the Wu-Tang Clan is gonna mess this music industry up. And I seriously cannot wait. I know based off the season 2 trailer that they're gonna be recording some songs and they're gonna perform a song live in front of some people. So this is really when the Wu-Tang Clan is gonna take off, and I seriously can't wait. I can't wait for the end of season 2, because that's when it's really gonna get real. I know that for a fact. This season will end with them on the top, and then, you know, season 3 is gonna be even crazier. But I can't wait. This was a solid episode, 8 out of 10. Let me know what you guys think. Comment your thoughts down below. What are your theories, thoughts, predictions, and everything else? Keep supporting your boy, and I'll be continuing to bring y'all Wu-Tang and American Saga content in the future. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and smash that notification bell so you can never miss a video. If you guys want to donate to the channel, I got links below to the PayPal and Cash App accounts. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me get out of here, y'all. It's your boy, FuturisticMike, and I'll talk to you on the next one. I'm out. Peace.